Angel Reese, back in the gym, working on her pull up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out, being able to create some space for herself. Yes, this looks embarrassingly slow. No, it is not in slow motion. This is just what we have to work with right now.
The Indiana Fever players have been grinding in the gym all off-season, their workout videos going mega viral, with even Caitlin Clark's racking up nearly 2 million views in just 24 hours. Then there's Angel Reese, whose PR team just leaked her own training video in what feels like the most desperate response to the Fever success I've ever seen.
Let's get it! Knockdown! Bang! Hey man, we got a fire on the poop deck. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! 4! Bang! Mayday! Mayday! Clear the runway! Brace for impact! AR-5 coming in heavy! Bang! Look alive, sunshine. Long 2, will it go through? Haha, no chance. Bang. Is it me, or is there only 2 rows behind the bench and they're like half full? I get better attendance on Monday nights in my men's league. Come on, man! Bang!
While the Fever's videos show players like Aaliyah Boston perfecting post moves and Lexi Hull improving her three-point shooting for actual game situations, Reese's video has her pretending she's the next Steph Curry shooting three-pointers. You know, that skill she absolutely doesn't need as someone who shot a dismal 44.5% from less than 5 feet last season. Let's talk about what's happening and why Rhea and her team are missing the point completely. If you're excited about the Fever in 2025, comment the word champion down below. Let's go.
We got some footage from in the lab. That's right. She's in the damn gym. I'm just going to keep it real. I guess hell has frozen over, but she is in the gym practicing shots. And as you can imagine, there's real reaction to this.
Did you notice how the entire Indiana Fever team has been locked in the gym all off-season? Their workout videos aren't just going viral. They're showing us exactly what championship preparation looks like, unlike teams that just talk about putting in the work. The Fever players are documenting their transformation step by step. How are you doing? Good. How are you? So finally, you see what stands out in these training sessions is the surgical precision. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull aren't just randomly shooting around. They're specifically honing three-point shooting, improving finishing through contact, and developing mid-range games that perfectly complement Clark's vision on the court. Hall's focus is particularly interesting as she perfects her catch and shoot technique and runs through screen plays, essential elements in the Fever's motion offense that will create scoring opportunities next season. You know what makes these videos different from typical off-season content? Keith Porter, the Fever's player development coach, is actually there providing hands-on guidance. He's not just sitting back and watching. He even traveled with Aaliyah Boston in Massachusetts, showing the team's commitment to each player's growth. This isn't some generic getting shots up session. These are tailored workouts designed to address specific needs. Aaliyah Boston's training tells another story of strategic development. After teams adjusted defensively against her late last season, she's countering by perfecting left-hand post moves and developing a reliable floater. This isn't random improvement. It's targeted skill development that directly answers the challenges she faced. Boston isn't just working out, she's evolving her game with purpose. The veterans are equally locked in. Natasha Howard, Brianna Turner, and Dana Bonner are focusing on pick and roll actions, preparing to capitalize on every opportunity. Clark's passing creates this integration of individual training into team strategy, shows how the Fever are building something special, a system where everyone's personal growth serves the collective goal.
Family, it's Coach Keith Porter. Today I got Aaliyah Boston in the gym. We're gonna working on some footwork, getting up and down the floor. Just working on being better today.
Are you ready for my hit?
We'll make 5 hours. Build them backwards.
Yeah.
So eventually we're gonna get to like our whole set, but we're gonna isolate every single action and motion in it.
Yeah.
So this is just one of those fucked up motions.
What's really fascinating about these workout videos is how clearly they connect to actual game situations. When Lexi Hull practices specific shots, you're not just watching random drills, you're seeing exactly how she'll score next season when Clark draws defenders and kicks the ball out. Every movement has purpose, every repetition has meaning. This isn't just players getting in shape. It's a championship blueprint being drawn in real time. Each player is addressing specific weaknesses while enhancing their strengths, all within a cohesive system designed to maximize their collective talent. The Fever aren't just hoping to improve, they're methodically building an offensive machine, where each piece fits perfectly. The difference between preparation and pretending just became crystal clear after months of red carpet appearances and podcast tours. While the Fever players were grinding in gyms across the country, Angel Reese's PR team suddenly felt compelled to show she was working too. But basketball fans immediately spotted something fishy about this suspiciously timed workout video, and they weren't shy about calling it out.
Training about 4 or 5 days a week. A lot of young guns out there now that, they want to take your spot, and I don't blame them, but it's going to be hard because I'm going to go after it.
Let's talk about what's actually in this video. Angel Reese, a 6-3 post player who struggled mightily with finishing at the rim last season, is shown practicing long 2-pointers and 3-pointers. Those shots she rarely takes or makes in actual games. This disconnect between her real on-court weaknesses and what she's training on has left both analysts and fans baffled.
Lexi Hull being back in Indiana in the gym, working out. We saw Keith Porter in there. We saw Lexi shooting her shots. We saw Lexi with reverse layups.
Chicago Sky supporters are particularly frustrated. One fan directly questioned, how come it's Angel Reese's PR team that is releasing this and not the Chicago Sky? Another pointed out the obvious problem. She needs to work on her inside game, but she's practicing shooting 3-pointers when that isn't her role. The criticism reveals a fan base that understands basketball fundamentals better than the training being displayed.
Angel Reese back in the gym practicing the 15 to 17 foot, but we see a lot in the Angel Reese practice footage of her working on this type of game. Right, there's not too many practice videos that have been released on the Angel Reese front that doesn't involve her working with Lisa Leslie, that you see her working on her post moves, working around finishing around the basket, finishing around the rim.
What's glaringly absent in Reese's video is any sign of Chicago Sky coaching staff. No structured development plan, no professional guidance tailoring drills to address her specific weaknesses, just Angel a camera and what appears to be a hastily arranged session designed more for social media than actual improvement. When you consider that Reese shot an abysmal 44.5% from less than 5 feet, which analysts have called one of the worst percentages in WNBA history for a player taking that many shots from that range, you have to wonder why she's focusing on perimeter shooting instead of finishing fundamentals. Her 39.1% overall field goal percentage last season screams for attention to layups and close-range scoring, not 3-point shooting.
Nobody's guarding you. There's no chance you're going to get your shot blocked if you take a 3. Nobody's guarding you. There's no way. How does she get her shot blocked all the time, man? I don't get it. Never seen a professional basketball player make a layup look so awkward, so uncoordinated. Goes off the wrong foot. Call it the poopity scoopity shot. Bang! When little bro thinks he can play against the big bro. Who's your daddy? Bang! Angel, do the Dirk. Yeah, the Dirk. That fall away. Do it. Yeah, look at that bag work. Bang! This league rocks.
Even more telling is how Rhea appears to be ignoring advice from basketball royalty. Lisa Leslie reportedly told her, "Going in my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me? Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period." Shaquille O'Neal has offered similar guidance about developing her inside game, yet here she is launching jumpers instead of perfecting post moves. The timing couldn't be more transparent. This wasn't part of a planned development program, but but a reactive response after seeing the Fever's genuine training videos go viral. Basketball experts have called out the video as all flash, no substance, suggesting it prioritizes appearances over addressing actual weaknesses.
On your left side, like Pope says, feel somebody on your left side, turn right. Feel somebody on your right side, turn left. We don't really see that with the Angel Reese workout videos. We see a lot of this, a lot of jump shots, set shots, catch and shoot, dribble, dribble, shot, dribble, dribble, pull up. Maybe we'll take it to the lane from 15 feet out on a drive, but not too much post.
You don't need to be a professional coach to spot the problem when a player with fundamental finishing issues is working on the wrong skills entirely. It suggests either a lack of self-awareness or poor developmental guidance, both concerning for a young player's career trajectory. When basketball experts talk about letting the numbers speak, they're not kidding around. Behind Reese's glossy Instagram workouts lies a statistical reality that would make any shooting coach cringe. And it gets worse the deeper you look into the numbers. The struggles extend well beyond the immediate basket area, shooting less than 15% from 5 to 9 feet is catastrophic for a post player's offensive arsenal. Think about that, connecting on fewer than 2 shots out of every 10 attempts, just a few steps from the hoop. That's not just a cold streak. It's a fundamental technical issue that requires immediate attention.
Like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form, because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
What's particularly revealing is the rebounding mirage these struggles create. Nearly 40% of Reese's rebounds last season came after her own missed shots, while grabbing your own miss shows hustle. When it happens this frequently, it creates a statistical illusion, inflating rebounding numbers while masking one of the most inefficient finishing rates for a player of her height and position. It's basketball's version of failing upward. Miss, rebound, miss again, repeat.
If Angel Reese was my power forward and he saw this chart that we're looking at right now, and I see that when she's close around the basket finishing on layups, she's shooting 42%. And when I see Camila Cardoso around the basket finishing on layups, bottom of the chart, folks, she's finishing at a 56% clip. Well, if I'm Tyler Marsh, I am saying to myself, okay, let's make sure that this paint is not congested. So when we hand it to our big girl, when we hand it to our higher pick of the two from the 2024 WNBA draft, when we hand it to the better finisher out of the two, when we hand it to the better player out of the two offensively, let's make sure this paint is open so she has some room to.
Professional shooting coaches have pinpointed specific mechanical flaws holding Reese back. Her release point often starts too low, frequently at chest level, creating a pushing motion rather than a smooth shooting stroke. Even more problematic is her tendency to cross her wrists during her shooting motion, disrupting the alignment needed for accuracy. These aren't minor tweaks, they're fundamental issues requiring dedicated technical overhauls. The stark contrast with Aaliyah Boston is impossible to ignore. While playing a similar position, Boston shot 55.2% from the field in her rookie season, demonstrating what efficient post play actually looks like. That 16 percentage point difference represents the gap between a player who can be relied upon to convert high percentage opportunities and one who squanders them.
Just the fact she is, it's more than a fact, she is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats, so I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
Boston's approach to improvement further highlights the disconnect. Her workouts focus meticulously on footwork drills, touch finishes around the rim, and left-hand development, all skills directly addressing her position's demands. Meanwhile, Reese's workouts showcase perimeter shots that she rarely takes or makes in actual games, ignoring the glaring issues With her interior finishing, you don't need an advanced degree in player development to recognize the problem. Reese is practicing the wrong skills entirely when a 6-3 post player with such abysmal finishing statistics is filming workouts dominated by 3-point attempts. It suggests a concerning lack of self-awareness about her actual role and weaknesses.
Great. She can get back to building that brick house on the hoop like she did last year. With her shot release, I don't know how she gets any shots off. Well, you heard what I said. And look, the guy's being objectively just critical when it comes to basketball. With that release, how is she getting shots off? It's real slow. I mean, you know, it's a good question.
This misalignment between statistical reality and practice focus isn't just disappointing, it's potentially career limiting in a league where roster spots are precious and player development windows close. Quickly addressing the wrong problems is a luxury no player can afford. Career longevity in the WNBA isn't about how many followers you have, it's about evolution. What we're seeing from Clark and Reese right now might be the difference between a future Hall of Famer and a whatever happened to trivia question.
Why in the world are we working on layups or not working on layups when you got such a problem and you're so inefficient with your inside ball game? I just don't understand it. All right. Not only that, but that release is still draggy and slow. All right. You're a 4. Why are you shooting that far away? I get it. Eventually, you got to develop a jump shot. But you got to get the fundamentals down first.
Veterans like Diana Taurasi and Subbard didn't dominate for 2 decades by accident. They constantly added new dimensions to their games, refining skills and adapting to changing defensive schemes. This blueprint for sustained success is something Clark appears to understand intuitively, while Reese seems to be headed in an entirely different direction. Look at Clark's methodical approach to improvement. She's focusing on the precise areas that challenged her as a rookie, tightening her handle against pressure, expanding her mid-range arsenal, and finishing through physical contact. This isn't random development, it's strategic evolution that follows the path blazed by multi-time MVPs.
Gonna lead the league in brick layups and single-handedly keeping their team out of the playoffs once again. Look, I'm watching for some real interesting things to happen this year. Can she cure the layup issue? That's a big one. Number 2, will the Chicago Sky sideline their real superstar, Carmilla Cardozo, for Angel Reese? That ball should be feeding from the outside in through that big that can absolutely